I've moved to Boroondara in Melbourne, Wurundjeri land, and I'm thinking about how this land was urbanised, how it came to be what it is today, and still has these pockets of original vegetation and beauty, and we have access to them. And so I am just interested in how this all developed. Here we are on the Yarra River, my morning walk. And when the colonists came, they referred to this as the upside down river because it flowed brown on top. It's been raining last night and today's no exception. But apparently where the river is tidal and the seawater comes in, it actually does flow underneath clear and colder for a couple of metres, and then this muddy water on top. In 1803, a group of explorers, or a boat, came and they had a surveyor on board, and he was recording what kind of trees are here, because that's what the colonists wanted to know. And when they came up the river, this is where they could get no further because of the growth here, the dense undergrowth. And so they noted that there were eucalypts, there were wattles, and oak they refer to, and we do have a silky oak. And these were of course resources. Oh look, I'm standing in the only bit that's raining. I'll take you on to the little waterfall. So here we are at the bend in the river. And that interest in trees by the early explorers and then colonists was of course because they're looking at the native flora as a resource and what can they build with it. Because it wasn't until some 30 or 40 years later really that settlement came to the area. And then a good while on before they could manage to get beyond the river up into this more dense area. So the areas on the other side of the river, where you see the golf course, the surveyors came and divided those blocks up so they could be sold, and the king's coffers benefited enormously from this land that wasn't actually theirs, but they'd come, and once a surveyor comes, then ownership really takes place. And it still was some time before they could get here up into Boroondara, into Kew, and start building roads, which were funded on river crossing punts. And when you used any of the roads here, you had to, in the 1840s, 50s, you had to pay to do so. And those who had been just running stock and using tracks where they could just take their stock toward town, cutting across any bit of land, now had to go around the long way and pay to get there, which was pretty annoying for them. And some of them, like Gardner, when the opportunity came to purchase the land, because it has to be surveyed first, they didn't. They'd had the run of it and the use of it, but they didn't then actually purchase it, and so it got divided up for housing, and largely the records show that I've been reading that someone could just come and say, oh look, here's a good view, let's have some land here, and they could purchase that piece of land at the size their pocket and their interest allowed. So it was pretty random settlement. Here's the traffic for the morning beside the odd duck. Oh, he must have Wi-Fi, he's chatting to somebody. So that's my morning walk and a little bit of history. Now I've come up top of the hill. And you can see the city.